Welcome back to Rob's Home Bar. Today we're taking a look at the Piña Colada, because last Sunday it was National Piña Colada Day, and I didn't get this video out on time, but that doesn't matter because the whole summer is Piña Colada Day, really, because they're so refreshing. So today we're gonna make not one, not two, but three versions of the Piña Colada. So stick around, hit that subscribe button. We're starting with the classic, or at least my version of the classic. And I use kind of a 2-2-2 formula, 2 ounce of rum, 2 ounce of pineapple, 2 ounce of coconut. So it's super simple. But I am gonna split the rum into two different. I like to do 1 ounce of a light rum using Dorado 3, and then an aged rum. And I'm gonna use this Mount Gay Black Barrel. So 2 rums, but use whichever rums you want. If you don't like to really taste the rum in a Piña Colada, use 2 ounces of the cheapest white rum you can get, Bacardi. But anyways, moving on. 2 ounces of cream of coconut. That's homemade, and yes, it looks a little chunky. That's just because when you make homemade cream of coconut, it tends to separate, and that's so the fat and the liquids kind of separate, but no problem. It'll all get blended. After that, 2 ounces of pineapple juice. Now, that's your 2-2-2. I like to add a dash of Tiki Bitters, Elamacule Tiki Bitters to that. You don't have to. And lastly, secret ingredient here, again optional, but 1/8 of a teaspoon of Xanthan Gum. What that's gonna do, it's gonna make sure that the drink stays homogeneous and doesn't separate. All right, 3 scoops of crushed ice, and then I'm gonna use a stick blender to blend this together. You could use a regular blender if you wanted. I like using my stick blender. It's less cleanup, and it works. All right, blended nice and smooth. Let's get that out of the way. And we're gonna bring in our traditional Poco Grande glass or hurricane glass and pour in that lovely smoothie. Look at that, amazing. And we're gonna garnish traditionally with some pineapple fronds and a nice big chunk of pineapple with some neon red maraschino cherries. You don't need the Luxardos here, keep those for the old fashions. This is a Piña Colada, neon red. And there it is, guys. All right, for our next one, we got some Angostura, we got some Smith & Cross, my favorite rum, and the classic Piña Colada flavors. This is the Angostura Colada. Now, a lot of people don't realize that Angostura is actually 45% alcohol. So you can actually use it as a base spirit. So we just need to remove that dasher top. There we go. Because we're using a full 1.5 ounces of Angostura Bitters. So obviously this is going to be very, very bitter and very spicy. The flavors in there are very intense, but they're well balanced when you use the coconut and the pineapple, and it works in cocktails. Another great cocktail to check out is the Trinidad Sour that uses Angostura as a base spirit. To that, we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of Smith & Cross or any overproofed rum, something that's going to stand up to the Angostura. Because if you're using just like a pretty light rum, it's gonna get lost in there because Angostura is very bright flavors. All right, after that, we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of our cream of coconut. That's gonna sweeten it up. It's gonna play really nicely with the Angostura. It's gonna be amazing. And 2 ounces of pineapple juice. And lastly to this one, we are gonna add a little bit of lime juice. We want a little extra tartness and sourness to just kind of balance out that really strong Angostura flavor. And there it is, we're gonna add some crushed ice. And I decided to use my drink mixer here, so I'm gonna add it in the tin, get another scoop of crushed ice. You could totally mix this, but I love using the drink mixer, especially with pineapple juice. It gives it a really good foam. So we're gonna serve this in a brandy snifter, but any glass here will work. And obviously these friggin' brandy snifters are huge. So I'm gonna top it off with more crushed ice. It's such a big glass, it's absurdly huge. All right, drop in a straw, pineapple frond, and a nice slice of orange. And there it is, the Angostura Colada. A nice, slightly bitter take and very flavorful take on the original. For our last one here, we're gonna do a clarified Piña Colada. So we're gonna go pretty classic with the recipe, although we want some rums with flavor, because when you clarify something, it does take away some flavor. So if you use a light rum, it's just gonna get lost. So I'm gonna use 1 ounce of my Mount Gay Black Barrel and 1 ounce of Smith & Cross. And hopefully those flavors will shine through even after we clarify the drink. Okay, let's get to our cream of coconut. Nope. not that one. Let's do the cream first. There we go. All right, whenever you use a thick ingredient, pour it first so that the other ingredients soak up the residue. So 1.5 ounces of the cream of coconut followed by 1.5 ounces of the pineapple juice. I am going to bring back the Tiki Bitters, the Kool-Aid Tiki Bitters. Adds a nice little hint of spice and anise to your drinks. A couple dashes, especially since we're clarifying, we want some strong flavors in there. And finally, in order to clarify, we need 2 ingredients. We need milk, and we need fat, like milk fat, and we need citrus. So I'm gonna add a little more citrus because I don't think the pineapple juice has enough acidity. However, we don't need milk because the coconut has a lot of fat. And as you can see, after sitting for about 10 minutes, look at all those curds forming. We're then gonna dump those curds into a funnel lined with a coffee filter. And that's gonna start filtering through. But the first little bit, it's dripping through the coffee filter. We wanna wait till the curds settle and form kind of a secondary filter. So what we're gonna do is we're going to let that, once it starts dripping very slowly, transfer it to yet another vessel, and then we're just going to dump that right back in the top. Yes, I know it's a lot. We're using 3 mixing glasses, a lot of cleanup, but trust me, it'll be good. Now we're gonna let this sit for almost 2 hours. I know it's long, but it's gonna give us a fantastic results. And after about 2 hours, look at that. I could have actually passed this through a second time to get it even more clear, but hey, I was running out of time to record this video. All right, we're gonna basically treat this like a stirred drink. So add some ice, give it a nice stir. We're gonna serve in a rocks glass with a nice chunk of clear ice. Look at that beautiful clear ice. All right, put that in there, get our julep strainer, and pour over our clarified Pina Colada. So there's the same flavors as the first Pina Colada we made, only we've clarified it, and look how sexy and elegant that looks. Beautiful. And we're gonna go nice and classy, just 1 pineapple frond in there. There it is, clarified Pina Colada. Oh wow, just looks gorgeous, especially with the clear ice. Amazing. Can't wait to try it. And that's what we're gonna do now. We are going to taste and we are gonna rate these 3 Pina Colada variations. Or I guess 1 classic and 2 variations. All right, so we're gonna start with the OG, the classic Pina Colada, at least my version. It's not the original recipe, but I find this recipe works really well. And oh my God, so good. It's refreshing, it's clean, it's it's a smoothie. It's an adult smoothie. How can you go wrong? So delicious, very sweet, very refreshing. Perfect for a summer day. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what else to say. Next up, the Angostura Colada. So it's bitter, but it's well balanced, and there's a lot of flavor. All those spices come through, herbs and spices from the Ango, and a little bit of the Smith & Cross comes through, and it's hard to drink through all that ice, but oh, so good. But it's well balanced. It's got a good sweetness from the pineapple and the coconut. Finally, the clarified version. Oh wow, that is so clean and crisp. You get the coconut, you get the pineapple, the Smith & Cross funk does come through. Everything is toned down though. That's what happens when you clarify a drink. All those flavors toned down. Absolutely no alcohol harshness. You could drink these all day and not realize that you're drinking alcohol, but that is so good. If you have never tried a clarified drink, try this one. You'll love it. All right, we gotta rate these bad boys. I think number 1, I'm gonna give it to the Angostura because I just love that flavor. Second place, I'm gonna give it to the clarified because that was really exciting. And I know Vino's gonna hate me, but hey, the classic in last place. But that's not a bad thing. All of 3 of these get first place, to be honest. Like, these are all fantastic. Pina Coladas are so good on a hot summer day. It's so tropical, so much fun. Make one today, make one all summer long. Enjoy. We'll see you next time. Cheers.